YouTube. This was a guitar that I just did up for somebody. This is a classic vibe. I've forgotten already. Tele custom, I believe it's called. It's going to be a bit of a different video because he's one of those folk that uses those DiMarzio clip strap things, which I don't have, so it's going to have to be a balanced on a knee type video. So this one's had its neck replaced. I think the guy said he just didn't like the maple neck which he's come with. So it's basically like a Telecaster, but it's got a Stratocaster neck on it and Les Paul controls. These aren't the knobs that he wanted on it either, but I had to put something on it because I couldn't stand looking at it without knobs on it. So you get a three-way switch. Fender, these are, they say Fender on them, but they say GFS on the bottom. So I think that is original. I think if you go back a couple of years, they did come with GFS pickups. So these are sort of wide range humbucker pickups. A guy was suggesting maybe putting coil splits in it, but I was not sure that was a good idea, because if you look at these pickups, I don't know if you've seen the wide range ones before. If I can get an angle, you can actually see them. They're saying it's like they've got like 3 poles that are adjustable on each pickup. I figured if you coil split them, the 3 strings that have got the pole pieces will be louder than the other 3 strings. So instead I put in a push-pull phase switch on that tone control, so it does something a bit cheesier, a bit more interesting. I think the neck was just a standard one of your Chinese ones. But it's actually very nice. It's like a high gloss Stratocaster neck. He's applied a Fender decaled headstock and Wilkinson deluxe tuners I fitted. These things, it's like the idea of just buying a neck and sticking it on your own guitar. He was right to not try and do it himself. Assuming you're not if you know how to do these things, it's all right. But to get to line up, I had to take a wee bit out of the neck pocket, and there was a bit more faffing about than just a case of just sticking it on and then putting it on and then it was done. And even things like putting the tuners on was a bit of a bitch. But it's all going now. So hardtail, this one is tuned. He wanted it tuned to drop C sharp, which I actually knew what that was. Basically, it's if you tune it to, instead of tuning it to E standard, you tune it to E flat and put slightly thicker strings on, and then the C sharp's like if you imagine it just being drop D. But I've tuned it to just D flat just now because I would struggle with the drop D thing. It doesn't really fit in with any of the music I like. I'll do it later on. So if I turn it on, which is not on, is because the tuner's still on. Rat pedal, laney, and exposure of my naked knee. Stand in front of the mic, there we go. These are thick strings. The packet's sitting there. So these are 11 to 54s. So it's 11, 15, 22, 30, 42, 54. So they're significantly thicker than what I'm used to, like a normal set of 10s. So bending's not as easy as... Still do it though. Neck pickup. Both. Phase switch on. hard work with these thick strings. I'm going to double check this is in tune because this is awkward not having a strap. I don't know how people can play with it. Well, and let's be honest, nobody plays standing with their foot on top of the monitor and no strap. Okay, it wasn't really out of tune. Yeah, I suppose I've tried clean, I suppose. So you get and I would advise not eating crisps and then trying to use Stratocaster knobs for a push-pull pop because they're slippy. So phase is much more obvious when you're playing clean actually. So these pickups didn't sound like I expected them to sound. I was kind of expecting them to be a bit more... Well, maybe actually when you play them clean and not phased, they do kind of sound like what I expect them to sound like. They're a bit somewhere between like a single coil and a humbucker, I think. You know, kind of P90-ish almost. Raise that one up a bit, it's a bit quieter, the bridge is a bit quieter than the neck. Against greasy fingers. When you're fitting the phase switch to a guitar that's got two volume controls, you get some interesting stuff that happens when you turn one of them down. So that's both at full, so you get full at a phase, they're both fighting against each other. But if you just roll one of them down, standing in one leg, sore in the legs. Distortion! I can't hear that. No, I'm just going to use the tuner. I thought it was going to be pretty clever and just... so it's C sharp is meant to be. I say I never play using drop D. playing D then if you're playing Yep, I'm actually going to raise that bridge pickup up. If this is your guitar, it's quite easy to put it back down again, but I just feel that I want this to be a bit higher. Interesting, it's got 4 adjustment screws on it, these pickups. I was going about how I like the Japanese guitars that have got 3 on it, because it means you can tilt the angle of the pickup rather than just having the 2. This one's got 4, so it's even more betterer. More at the bottom as well. We'll get to the same angle as the strings. Right. See? For a leg swap, get sore. Yeah, so cool guitar. I am going to argue that although it's Telecaster shaped, you can't see it because it's not put it in front of some light. For me, I decided long ago, this is without playing anything or anything like that, I don't like this shape of scratch plate on a Telecaster on the 4 controls. One of the things I like best about the tele is the metal control plate. Just purely by looks. The metal control plate is not very good for switching between the pickups though, because whenever you switch on at the bridge you always end up touching the volume control. So you have to kind of just accept that it's not a very good design, but I still like it, I still think it's cool. It's probably more sensible having the pickup selector there. But yeah, this neck is actually really nice. It's got that, it's nice and glossy, and it's got that sort of orangey tint thing going on about it, which I really like. I think it's just a Strat neck as opposed to being, and it did fit in the neck pocket almost. No problems with the neck either. The truss rod, if anyone buys one of these, it's a funny size. It's not the usual metric Allen key you use. It's from the Imperial side to get the Allen key that adjusts it, which I thought was broken, or I couldn't reach it, it wasn't working. But so I don't know why they would use an Imperial truss rod, but wherever this neck came from, it's an Imperial. So your best bet, which I did probably 2 years ago, I invested in, I went to B&Q and I bought the full set of all the Allen keys after having many years of just having them all sitting in a wee bucket, sitting there trying to pick them out. And that one, because you've got them all, you can put them back into the holder, which I've always done. You can always tell if you want one that's just slightly bigger, you can just get the next one up, rather than just having to look through them like that, kind of try to decide which one the right one is. So buy yourself a full set of Allen keys. I think it was about £5. I think if you go to the pound shop, you can get them even cheaper. Yeah, as I said, I did have to adjust the neck pocket. I had to shave a wee bit off the neck pocket because the neck was sitting obviously not at that angle, but the strings didn't line up. They were this string was sort of hanging over the edge of the board a little bit, and this one was a bit far in. So I think that would be more the body wasn't right because the neck is just a piece of wood. The neck was straight, obviously, and you can't. It's not that you're going to cut the thingy. So I'd imagine when this guitar, I never saw the old neck, but I'd imagine the old neck probably wasn't on straight. So I don't know what that says about Classic Vibe. I know that the Classic Vibe are dead popular and they do look amazing. I believe this one might have originally had a black scratch plate on it. It was white when I got it though. So that's kind of it. So yes, it's cool sticking what I'd imagine. I'm just assuming here. I didn't buy the neck either. I think this is one of your sort of £30-40 Chinese from eBay necks, and I didn't have to do anything to the frets on it. They were perfect. I don't know if I was just lucky or not, but they don't. It doesn't have sharp ends. It seems to have sort of rolled edges on it, and none of the frets were high or low. They all seem fine. I noticed that this video is actually a little bit out of sync. I hope it turns out all right, and I don't have to do it again. Because my leg's sore from playing it without a strap. Like I didn't want to unscrew, these clippy things from someone else's guitar just to put strap buttons in so I could play it for a 5-minute video. But there you go. Yeah, so it's a good idea putting this neck on. I don't know what the old neck was like, but this is really nice. But there is a little bit of work involved in doing it. It's not quite just a case of like Lego, just stick it together and hoping it works, because you've really got to know what you're doing. And if you're going to learn how to know what you're doing, don't do it with like a £300 guitar. Buy yourself a shit Strat or something off Gumtree or Facebook or something for 30-40 quid. Kind of basically the sort of thing I make the Iron Brew guitars out of, and then mess about with it. And that means if you do break anything, or it's easier to make that work than it is working on an expensive one. So if you can make like like the cheapest squiers, or your Behringers or any of these ones, if you can make one of them play good, then do that all you're learning, because then if you do actually totally destroy it and fuck it up, you can just sell it on for 20 quid or something. You don't actually lose anything apart from time. Rock and roll. Whoops, missed the button.